Dawn of the atomic age, a world at war. The year is 1945. The world is engulfed in the flames of World War II. Cities lie in ruins, millions are dead. In the heart of this maelstrom, a new horror is about to be unleashed, a weapon unlike any the world has ever seen. The atomic bomb, born from the fires of scientific advancement, promises an end to the conflict, but at what cost? Scientists, many refugees from war-torn Europe, grapple with the moral implications of their work. Japan, though increasingly battered by conventional bombing raids, shows no sign of surrender. As the world holds its breath, the countdown to destruction begins. The day the sun fell, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. August 6, 1945, dawned like any other day in Hiroshima, a bustling city of 350,000 souls, filled with life and energy. The morning air was thick with the promise of heat as people went about their daily routines, unaware of the impending catastrophe. Children played in the streets, mothers hung laundry, shopkeepers opened their stores, all under the same sky, oblivious to the metallic glint high in the azure sky, a harbinger of doom. The Enola Gay, an American B-29 bomber, was on a mission that would forever alter the course of human history, carrying a weapon of unprecedented destructive power. At 8:15 a.m., a blinding flash seared the sky. The world went white, as if the sun itself had descended upon the city. Then, a deafening roar, a monstrous pressure wave that pulverized everything in its path. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles, and lives were shattered in an instant. Hiroshima, once a vibrant metropolis, was reduced to a smoldering ruin, a testament to the destructive power of the atomic bomb. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, another American B-29 bomber, Boxcar, arrived over Nagasaki, carrying a second bomb, transforming the city into an inferno, repeating the horror that had just unfolded in Hiroshima. Shadows of the blast survivors' stories. Akiko Takakura, a young girl of 7, was playing in her backyard in Hiroshima when the bomb exploded. She remembers a flash of light, then a searing pain that ripped through her body. When she opened her eyes, the world was a nightmare. Her house was gone, replaced by a raging firestorm. In Nagasaki, Taniguchi Sumateru, a 16-year-old postman, was thrown from his bicycle by the blast. He lay on the ground, his back on fire, his skin peeling off. He would spend the next 3 years lying on his stomach, his wounds so severe that doctors refused to believe he could survive. These are but 2 stories among thousands, each a testament to the unimaginable suffering unleashed on that fateful day. The survivors, known as hibakusha, bore the physical and psychological scars of the bombings, facing discrimination and prejudice in the aftermath of the war. The decision to use the atomic bomb was a complex one, fraught with moral and strategic considerations. It was not a decision made lightly, but rather one that involved intense deliberation and debate among the highest levels of government and military leadership. The United States faced a brutal enemy in Japan, a nation steeped in a warrior code that glorified death over surrender. This cultural mindset made the prospect of a negotiated peace seem almost impossible. Conventional bombing raids had inflicted heavy casualties, yet Japan's resolve remained unbroken. Cities were reduced to rubble, and still the Japanese government showed no signs of capitulating. The U.S. military estimated that a traditional invasion of Japan could cost hundreds of thousands, even millions of lives. The potential for such a high human cost weighed heavily on the minds of American leaders. The atomic bomb, with its unparalleled destructive power, offered a way to break Japan's will and force a swift surrender, potentially saving lives in the long run. It was seen as a necessary evil to bring about a quicker end to the war. But the moral implications of unleashing such a weapon were staggering. The devastation it would cause was almost unimaginable, raising profound ethical questions. The bomb's power was indiscriminate. It would kill soldiers and civilians alike, men, women, and children. The human cost would be immense and irreversible. Ultimately, Truman, faced with the agonizing task of ending the war and bringing American soldiers home, made the fateful decision to drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was a decision that would change the course of history. The debate raged within President Truman's inner circle. Advisors were divided, weighing the potential for ending the war swiftly against the moral and ethical ramifications of using such a devastating weapon. The immediate aftermath of the bombings was a scene of unimaginable devastation. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, once thriving cities, were reduced to smoldering ruins. Thousands lay dead, their bodies mangled beyond recognition. Those who survived the initial blast emerged from the rubble into a nightmare world of fire, radiation sickness, and unimaginable suffering. Hospitals, overwhelmed with casualties, struggled to cope with the sheer number of injured. Doctors unfamiliar with the horrifying effects of radiation poisoning were ill-equipped to treat the strange and agonizing symptoms that afflicted the survivors. The world watched in horror as the news of the bombings spread. The atomic age, long anticipated by scientists and feared by many, had arrived with terrifying suddenness. The long-term consequences of the atomic bombings were as profound as they were far-reaching. The Hibakusha, the survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, faced a lifetime of physical and psychological scars. Many suffered from radiation sickness, leading to cancer, birth defects, and other chronic illnesses. Beyond the immediate impact on the survivors, the bombings had a profound effect on the course of international relations. The world, shaken by the destructive power of the atomic bomb, entered the atomic age, an era marked by fear, distrust, and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. The Cold War, a geopolitical standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union, was fueled by the nuclear arms race. The bombings also had a lasting impact on Japanese society. The Hibakusha, ostracized and discriminated against in the aftermath of the bombings, became powerful voices for peace, sharing their stories and advocating for a world free of nuclear weapons. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serve as a stark and enduring reminder of the horrors of war and the devastating consequences of nuclear weapons. The sheer scale of destruction and loss of life was unprecedented. They stand as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, showcasing the incredible ability to rebuild and recover. Embodied in the stories of the Hibakusha who endured unimaginable suffering, yet emerged to advocate for peace, their voices have become a powerful force for change. Their voices, echoing through the decades, serve as a poignant reminder of the past, reminding us of our collective responsibility to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. The lessons of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are as relevant today as they were in 1945, urging us to reflect on the past and work towards a peaceful future. The world still grapples with the threat of nuclear proliferation, with regional conflicts and geopolitical tensions constantly threatening to escalate into nuclear confrontation. The legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is not just one of destruction and despair, but also one of hope and resilience. It is a story of human strength and the will to survive. From the ashes of unimaginable suffering emerged a powerful movement for peace, a global call for a world free of nuclear weapons, a vision shared by many across the globe. The Hibakusha, the survivors of the bombings, have become beacons of hope, their stories a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Their courage and determination inspire us all. Their legacy is a call to action, urging us to strive for a world where peace prevails and nuclear weapons are a relic of the past.